And we are live. Snakz, I forgot you didn't have your camera on. Let me fix that.
Oops. I forgot your thing is going to show.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Okay, I'll do that.
When I was a kid, there was this game.
Just let me know when it's on.
There was this game called Eternal Champions. I don't know if you ever played it. It's a fighting game. Some people like it, some people don't. It's for the Sega Genesis. But it had a sequel called Eternal Champions, some stupid subtitle for the Sega CD. And that game had a ton of secret characters. Like you could play as an owl. But one of the characters was a senator. And I think his name was called Senator. And like I just remember like he would like one of his special moves. Oh no! Actually, it might have been a win animation or a taunt. He would do the Richard Nixon thing. He's like, "I am not a crook," and I don't know. I just always think about that sometimes when I do like any kind of like peace kind of thing. I am not a crook. Yeah.
Okay, Manuel, what's going on right now?
Hey everyone, I am not a crook. Neither is UPZ or anyone related to the J Connections, as far as I know. And this is Alter Podcast Z, episode 192, the first one of the year. Let's get this show on the road.
Episode 192, Nixon.
Yeah, the Nixon. This is the Nixon tape. So we're gonna look and discuss.
Do they have
Watergate?
gaming in the Nixon years?
Like fucking, what was that first game? The Lunar Land, not the Tennis for Two. I think was the first one.
It depends on how you define video game. I can go into it on another episode if you give me like a week.
Yeah, but basically, but whatever game they were playing, it was hardly considered a game by today's standards.
So gaming in the Nixon years was the lunar landing game.
Yes, or something like that. There's like 3 contenders for it, and Pong I think was in 70. Well, whatever the precursor to Pong was.
Pong was 1972, so
yeah,
it would have been around
72. Wait, who was president in 1972?
Richard Nixon.
Yeah,
so gaming in the Nixon years is Pong then, okay.
Yeah, because by the late 70s it was Carter. I don't know why we're getting into this anyway.
Carter, we'll just keep going.
Well, I watched Scarface the other day.
What about gaming in the Eisenhower years?
And at the start of Scarface, like they're all like in Miami or whatever, and like fucking Tony Montana, whatever, he's all like, I just want refugee status, like Jimmy Carter promised us. And I was like, oh shit, a Jimmy Carter name drop.
Yeah.
Don't hear that shit very often.
The refugee, yeah, that was that movie's great. I watched that recently, actually. I recently, like 2 months ago.
I have a really relevant con story. By the way, we're gonna start with a recap of ALA, but here's a funny recap. So at PMX, I don't know if I ever told you this, Snakz, but anyways, at PMX, it was at the fucking
Sheraton, yeah.
And I'm in the hotel by myself. It's day 0. I'm by myself, and I'm like waiting for everyone to show up. And Weston shows up first, but I'm bored. There's not really much to do around the area unless you want to eat. And so I'm just sitting in the hotel room watching movies, and like whatever Showtime we had was showing Scarface, or whatever that channel was that would just show movies. We were watching Scarface.
Yeah, Showtime, yeah.
There's the infamous scene towards the beginning where yes, where he gets in that bad drug deal and they saw his friend and like they're about to kill him. That scene makes me so anxious. Like, I'm usually not the kind of person who gets anxious during movies, but ever since I was a kid, and yes, I watched it as a kid, great parenting, I know, but ever since I was a kid,
it keeps going back and forth to outside where they're at the car and then inside. Yeah, you're just like, how do you know? Yeah.
And fucking Weston called me during it, and I was literally like, mind you, I was already doing this. I was standing up in front of the TV because I couldn't sit anymore. So I was standing up, and I'm like, Weston, you're gonna have to wait. He's like, I'm downstairs with my bag, so you're gonna have to wait about 2 minutes because I can't leave until the scene's done. Like, I need to know, like, and I just stayed on the phone with them, and I'm like, and then when he kills the guy at the end, spoiler, when he kills the guy at the end of that scene, I'm like, okay. Like a year off my life, I can go down and get you now. But yeah, everyone go watch.
Great movie, honestly.
Go watch Scarface. Go with the yayo and
with the yayo. I forgot the song goes something. I want to listen to that song now. Something yayo.
Have you ever seen Scarface? JD?
No, I have not actually.
Oh, really? You should watch it. I think it's free on Tubi and YouTube Movies right now. And that's actually why I
Oh
saw
yeah,
it the other day. I saw it on
it's
Tubi.
Rush, give me yayo. Yeah,
Yeah. So go
the
watch
yayo,
it.
man, the yayo.
It's either
Everyone,
on
don't watch
Tubi or
UPC.
not Tubi.
Cancel it. Exactly.
Here
UPC's
on
canceled. We're
UPC,
gonna
we
watch.
condone yayo.
Don't say that. Anyway, but yeah, there's been some good shit. That's Snakz. I'm Manuel. What is this? Cancel? Don't cancel. I didn't say yayo. Snakz did cancel.
No,
Snakz.
you said it was. You said this was canceled.
Oh, I did say that actually. Oops. Hey everyone. Snakz is here. I'm here. It's the first episode of the year. Fun fact, in case you were wondering what happened, I got COVID.
Oh, so that's the big C you meant. I was sure you meant chlamydia.
Oh,
Chlamydia.
dude, I felt so bad because I was telling everyone the big C, and I told this to someone, and it took days because I got sick. I told them when I got sick, and it took days when I finally talked to them again that they thought I meant because okay, for those watching, I messaged a lot of people saying I got sick, and like everyone uses the code words for COVID because oh, monetization or social media like might block your shit or whatever. So I said the big C, and at least one group of friends thought I was telling them I got cancer, and I felt really bad about that. I was like, oops. And that typically is the big C, so I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, not putting two and two together. But no, I got COVID. But yeah, some friends like they thought that I was like, that's where I went for a week, that I just found out I was getting cancer. Like, are you okay? Are you gonna have to what's gonna happen? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm already feeling better,
dude.
So yeah, I'm a dumbass. I apologize to anyone, and I don't think I followed up with everyone. Obviously, I'm still around, but like, I didn't follow up with everyone that like I meant COVID. So if you're watching this, this is how you're finding out I meant COVID. Sorry. But yeah, as far as I know, this is the first time I got it since I got the unvaxxed version, and I think this is the first time I've gotten it since then. So it was a totally different experience. Like, it was just the worst fucking cold, like fever I've ever had in my life. It lasted days. Okay, it wasn't the worst. The worst was the unvaxxed COVID, but like it felt like, and mind you, I'm vaxxed and double boosted. So I hope that's like, I'm not saying like, oh, COVID's fine, but it felt like that really bad flu that people were saying, because it just felt like I had the mother of all flus. And Friday by last Friday I felt better, but I couldn't talk anymore. That's why I didn't do the fucking DTR. But on Tuesday, like I told JD I was sick on Sunday, I think, because that's when I started feeling really bad and the fever was going. I thought I could just power through it for UPC, but no. I was dead. I was fucking dead. Have you got COVID yet, Snakz?
Nope. Never got it. Doing
I
pretty
remember.
well to avoid it, actually.
Yeah.
Very well.
It's not fun. Even the Vax version was not fun. It was not pleasant.
I wouldn't imagine it would be. That's why I avoid it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and it was really annoying because like the year started, then it was ALA prep, then it was ALA, then I had another convention, and then I got sick. So literally, it's been a block of January. It's insane. I haven't really done anything.
We're already on the 25th, right?
Yeah. This week was the first week I was able to do shit, and I'm like, anyways.
The first thing that you did when you were able to start doing things again was to get the yayo.
Of course, I had to I need to replenish supplies. Where the fuck's the yayo?
Where the fuck is the yayo?
No, actually, I had to skip a lot of things, and I had to go I had to go mail something on last Friday. And if you've been paying attention to my stories, I told you I couldn't do DTR because I couldn't talk. So I feel really bad for the employees at my local post office because I'm pretty sure I was still hot and flaring in terms of my my giving off COVID. So, oops. but I had to mail out a package. Like it was for a lot of money. It was the yayo.
It was yeah, yeah.
I should joke about that. Next thing you know, the fucking police were at my door. But I had to mail out a package, and it, like literally, I already made a commitment to it, and it was a lot of money. So I'm like, ah, shit, it just needs to go out. I don't have a printer at home because I'm a fucking millennial. So like,
I have a
you
printer.
can't technically. No, who the fuck has a printer in this day and age?
I do.
But no, haven't you ever seen the meme? That's like a
Just get
TikTok
the
meme
yayo.
that millennials don't have printers anymore. But
I have a printer.
do you really?
Yeah.
It's funny because they're actually really cheap. Like I could get like you can get a cheap ass printer like because mind you the ink's expensive. You can get a cheap ass printer like on Black Friday for like $50 maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have a printer. So like I had to go to the post office to do it. There was no like other option. Like because I think you could print the because it was a flat rate box. I could have printed it out, slapped it on the box, and just dropped it off, and maybe still give someone COVID. I don't know, but. The way I did, I had to go inside, and it was somewhat crowded, and I was like, "Oops, everyone's probably catching my shit." And then I couldn't talk, so when I had to go to the front to give them my package and to give them the package and to tell them what I needed, it was so obvious I was sick. It was like, yes, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's my local post office, and I go there a lot, so I'm pretty sure they know I don't sound like that. I don't have a gravelly voice, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. I was masked. I'm not like a. To be fair, I always wear masks, except I didn't wear one a lot at ALA. Did you know? Did you wear your mask at ALA?
Yeah, I had it on the whole damn time.
I I don't think I wore it all day one. I wore it to go to my panel, and then I did my panel, and then when I was doing it, I took it
yeah,
off.
we wore it during the panels, yeah.
Well, by the
The panel
end,
with us, yeah.
if you remember, I had a feeling that I was feeling like shit, and obviously I wasn't. I did get COVID, but that was from something totally different, and that was like a week and a half later. But I was sick, and I wasn't 100% sure it wasn't that I was sick. But no, I was definitely just alcohol poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's
You
talk
had to
about
get that sucker out.
dude, ALA, man. JD's probably be like, Manuel, like that's an obvious story, but the moral of ALA, before we get into more detail, was if you're gonna go do some stupid shit like drink, please, for the love of God, hydrate.
Yeah.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I got
That's
really
the
sick.
usual.
How was your ALA Snakz? How would you rank it?
I'd say it's pretty good. I don't know if I could rank it. I'd say it was pretty up there. Had a lot of fun. Normally, I can't remember a lot of the stuff that I did the previous year, but this year I was like kind of branching out, trying to go to different gatherings and panels and stuff, meeting new people. So, I think I did pretty well for that. It was a good con for me. I had a fun time.
And you did a panel at your first. Was it? You've done the panel at PMX, obviously, but it was your
Yeah,
first. It was your first big con panel, big boy con panel.
yeah, it was my first panel at ALA. I actually completely forgot about that. I like how I just mentioned. I was like, wait, during our panel you had the mask on, but then it just like 2 seconds later, I forgot that I did that. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was pretty good. It's a good panel, good times. I was nervous. Everybody could tell I was nervous, but I mean, I got over it. I got over it pretty quickly, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
For those who've never been to a panel, well, first of all, the JAV panel. By the way, it was a JAV panel I did with Snakz and Tiffany. For those who've never been to a panel that A to J does that I'm on, typically I do a lot of the talking and I pass it to people. But the problem is the JAV one, especially, also the metal one's even more so. I think the metal one's pretty much Warren doing the opposite. Like he does the talking and then I just do the asides. But
Yeah.
The JAV one was really collaboratively written, and there's a lot of shit on there that I don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
So like I toss it to other people a lot, but like just to break the ice, I kept tossing it to you at the beginning, and you were not having it at first.
That was like son of a gun, dude. I was like, already? When we switched to this slide, the first slide, I said, oh. And then I was getting confused. I was like, wait, we're in 2023. So she's been active for 3 years, right? That counts. And he goes, Tiffany told me, it's literally on the slide. Just read the slide. And I was like,
You got a lot better though. Like, but by the midway point, definitely by the midway point, you were just talking normally and saying some shit, like, you know, and joining in.
yeah.
It was fun. It's funny because I don't want to talk about exactly what we showed. First of all, I just don't want to. It's not really all ages content, obviously, but we showed some extreme shit at the end.
Yeah.
And at PMX, I felt we could get away with it because it's PMX, but I wasn't so sure about ALA. But there was a lot of staff in the back of the room, and part of me was like, they're gonna make us stop. But no, they didn't care, and they actually were just really shocked. But they seemed nice shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's sort of good to know now because we were sort of thinking about that at PMX, whether or not they would allow us to show it, but they did. So
It's funny
we just went
because like
through with it.
this is kind of an addendum to the panel, and I actually intended to write it during the panel, but I didn't because I felt it was too like dry to mention this. But there's what I love about JEV, and now JD's like, ah, this is not FAP. Don't worry, JD, this is there's nothing quite to do with that. What I love about JEV, and I don't mean like this is my cup of tea, but it's kind of cool, is that all the really extreme genre fetishes are, I mean, they're not on the same shelf, but you could just buy them. Believe it or not, the US still has obscenity laws that don't let you sell technically like scat porn. If you don't know what scat is, don't look it up. But if you do know, then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they don't let you sell it. People have gone to jail over it recently, as in like years ago, like not even like a long time ago. People have gone to have done legit jail time for it, and it's just wild. It's just wild that like this exists. The reason I really bring it up is because part of me always thinks about that. I'm like, are we gonna get like? Well, we won't get arrested, but are we gonna get shut down for obscenity? But I don't think the cons know this. So yeah. And honestly, most people don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you went to like Ohio Con or like, and by the way, Ohio Con's a con in Ohio.
Yes.
Ohio Con or like fucking the one in Tennessee, I forgot what they're called. Anyways, if we go to a Midwest con, I think we might have a much different reaction. And we might get shut down, might get like banned from the con for life. But
yeah.
But it's fun.
They'll probably be like, you. But it's like it's in the description, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's
and
like it's gonna be included.
And everyone come to the JV panel because it's great. But like, that was one of the reasons I really wanted to do it. Not even so much to like do a history of JV, which I kind of want to put more of that in there later on. But like, to show weird shit. I just find that funny. It's just like, I gag. I'm not gonna lie. When I gagged during the scene at the end, I was afraid that would set off a chain reaction and somebody was gonna really vomit. I was scared that it was my deep fear that somebody was gonna vomit in the room because would we be responsible for that? I don't know, but yeah.
People were like looking with curiosity.
Now
Like,
here's
here it comes.
Here's a very funny fact that I only found that I don't think you were there when we were discussing this, but some people came up to us and mentioned it afterwards. JD, I want your unbiased, uncultured opinion.
Okay.
Obviously, you know what it is because of us. But before you met me, did you know what JAV was?
Yes.
Okay, so but then again, you are kind of like a weeb or whatever, so it's kind of a weeb term. But we didn't put in the panel, like in the panel title, that it was going to be porn. So there were people who showed up not knowing what JAV was.
Oh wow.
Like, because we just have the term JAV. There's no like adult video in there. So some people were surprised, and I found that amusing. One of our roommates, I won't mention them, but we had a new roommate who roomed with us at this con, and she came to a couple of the panels we did, and she came to the JAV one, and she had no idea what JAV was. So when she showed up, she was really shocked, and she told a friend of mine later that like she wanted to leave, especially by the end, but she thought it would be rude because obviously we knew her if she just got up and was the only one who walked out.
Who was this again?
It's the new girl that roomed with us.
Oh, her. She was there the whole time. I thought she left.
No, she stayed, and apparently she wanted to leave, but she was afraid that like we
Damn,
would
she
notice
wanted
she was
to
there.
leave. Oh, I mean, it's okay.
And okay, let's tell the story about how this panel happened, and this is kind of like the big story of ALA. So my
That's right.
dumbass, had a really big party like on day one. We killed some people. Remember, we killed Emmy. Were you there for that?
I was there, yeah.
We killed Emmy. Most of that day one, and this is like 9 p.m. we killed Emmy, so like the party was barely starting, and so she's dead in the bathroom for like 3 or 4 hours. She's
like 4 hours,
yeah, she's dead in the bathroom until like 2 a.m. almost. So we had to use the bathroom in the hallway because our
like every time, yeah.
Because our floor was the floor that had the pool, so there was a not public. You said I had a key to get into there, but there was a public-ish bathroom by the pool. So thank God that was close to us. So that's where we had to like use the bathroom like the entire night. But like so, even though we killed Emmy, I didn't know that I had subtly killed myself. So I wasn't hydrating. I was just drinking like crazy. And the next day, I go do the interview. By the way, I gotta get that together. And we have an interview with Kaylee and with Corina Bodiger. Yes, check those out soon. But I might just upload a raw just so we can start translating and transcribing it. Then I'll just upload the real thing. But anyways, so what am I saying? Oh, so I do the interviews and I feel like shit in the interviews. Like even Ivan's all like, you look like shit. Like, get some water. He's like, here, get some water. Molly didn't notice shit, which I love. Molly did not care. But I look like shit. I go back to the hotel. I like have the most like crazy like dehydration, alcohol poisoning fit of my life. Where basically I just need to turn on water and piss like crazy. It's just like I feel like shit. Probably should have like probably to the level. It's like maybe I should seek some medical assistance. But I knew this has happened before because I'm a dumbass. So it's happened before. I just powered through it. And I did the panels that day. And I don't think I told you this part. So the next morning, I kind of hid this part because I didn't want to look too irresponsible. So the next morning shows up. And we didn't drink that much the other night because we had a really late panel that ended like at 1 a.m. So when I showed up, everyone was kind of done. So I was kind of absolved from drinking. But the next morning, I'm like, I'm going to make up for last night. I'm going to start drinking in the morning. So my dumb ass starts drinking like at like 10 a.m. And this is day 3. So my dumb ass is drinking at like 10 a.m. As I'm like a couple shots in and I'm a couple like Smirnoff ices in and I feel it in my stomach. I'm like, oh no. That was a mistake.
You should have eaten something.
And then I ordered Panda Express, but they didn't give me a fork. So like I was so dying, like it was happened again. I was dying, so I started eating with my hands because I was like, I need food in me. I'm like, I'm fucking dying, and I was dying, and I was like, I can't do anything. I'm canceling everything. The panel's done. Everything's done. And so the JV panel was that night, and it was at a prime time slot. It was like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, it's late enough that I should. By now, it's like 1 or 2, and I tell Tiffany, I'm like, Tiffany, I can't do the panel. And she's like, you're joking, right? I'm like, no, I can't do the panel. And she's like, fine, I guess I'll just do it on my own. And I'm like, I'll give the laptop to Snakz. You do it with Snakz. And then I messaged Snakz. This is a couple hours later, like 3 or 4. Snakz was not having it. Was not having me do the panel without me. He kept showing up with Minmay and Chris. You showed up like 3 times, try to get me to leave. To give me like you got me Gatorade, you got me like medicine.
I got you. Hold on. I got you. Yeah, I got you Gatorade. I got you Advil. And then I got you some other like caffeine fucking pills shit.
Yeah, you were trying to revive my ass, and I'm like, Snakz, you're gonna have to do the panel without me. You're like, no, you're gonna go. And
it was Tums for heartburn and stuff.
Yeah,
right? That's right. Yeah, and then the caffeine stuff.
I tried to swallow Tums. By the way, I didn't realize you supposed to like chew them or break them up.
Yeah.
I swallowed one whole Tum and almost choked on it before I realized that I was making a mistake.
Yeah.
But so I'm the kind of person that swallows pills with nothing. Like I'll just put a pill in my mouth and swallow it. But anyways, so like the panel's done. I'm like, you can do it without me. And then Angie shows up, and I misunderstand Angie. I thought she wanted to go to the panel. And I thought that was wild. I'm like,
I
Angie's gonna go to the
thought the same thing, right? It was kind of okay. So I knew initially that she's gonna be there to pick up the shirts, but I didn't know. I thought she was gonna leave afterwards. But
yeah. And then
she's
she
like,
was talking
I'm
about,
coming with you to the 18 plus," and I said, okay."
and that just blew my mind. So like, so when I got up to go, I got up to go pee, just to go pee. And when I went to go pee, I was sitting there like washing my hands, washing my face after it, and I'm like, if Angie's going to the panel, I have to go. That's just too fucking crazy.
hmm
And I felt a little better moving
It's like
around a
a
bit.
one in a lifetime
Yeah.
opportunity, basically. Yeah.
So I come out the bathroom and like I look down and my shoes are right by the bathroom, and I'm like, I'm going. So I put my shoes on, and I'm like, let's go. We're going right now, because if I don't go right now, I'm gonna change my mind. And it's funny because like I don't know if you realize, because the reason I decided then to go, I left my wallet, my key, everything in my, because I changed my pants. I took a shower earlier. Everything that was like in my pockets was in my other pants, like in the closet somewhere. So I had nothing in my pockets, and I think you were carrying the laptop.
Yeah.
So like, I just like, let's just go, because if I don't leave, I'm gonna just go. So we go, and then we proceed to have like, this is like a 5-minute walk to go to the pond. It's across the street.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a long thing, but it's still like a 5-minute walk. It's, you cross the street, you go down this long little thing, and you're there.
hmm
It took us like 20 minutes to a half hour to get to there because I kept
Yeah.
stopping us. But by the time we got there, I had like sweated out the fucking like all the toxins in me basically, and I felt
Yeah.
fine. Like I felt like I cheated death, but I felt fine. Like I was no longer feeling like shit. And we go inside. I'm like, Tiffany, can you do me a favor? She had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, Tiffany, can you go to the bathroom and go get me some paper towels? And I guess the bathroom she went to didn't have the towels we just take, so she brought me like a big wad of towels. I guess she kept waving her hand in front of one of those things. She brought, I don't know if you saw that, she brought me this giant wad of like crumpled up towels she got from a thing, which is kind of awkward. And the staff looked so worried for me, like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just need some water. Like, here.
Yeah. Just,
But so for those paying attention to this anecdote, I hope it's interesting. For those paying attention to this anecdote, you might be like, oh, so Angie went with you. That she's the one who got you to go, which she did. And apparently she was bragging about it with the Tiffany lady. She's like, I'm the one who saved that panel. I'm the one who got Manuel out the room.
he said that?
She said that.
What the hell? There's no way.
And it's funny because like, technically she did, but I find that funny that she took all this credit for like literally showing up the last second, but it was Snakz who kept
30 seconds and then left.
Yeah. So when we were doing the panel, we were getting our sound check, like to make sure that our sound was working, because we had issues the entire con. And while I'm doing the sound, the video I'm playing, of course, is porn. You can't see it; you just hear the sound, and it's like because it's porn.
Yeah.
Nobody cut that sound, but like she hears that, gets up, and runs out the room.
Literally, yeah, he's testing the sound and it was loud as fuck.
And she left. So all that, she got me there basically by lying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she knew what the topic was. I remember telling her that it was a JV panel at PMX, and I saw her at PMX. She didn't go to that one, but yeah. But yeah. So Angie did not go to the panel. Well, she went, sat down, was there for like a few minutes.
Yeah, and then took off. Yeah.
It was a really fun panel because like we had some of our friends there. Like, technically all of Dem Pop was there until Angie left, but Claire was there, the other member of Dem Pop who performed with them, and when the panel was done, I don't know if you heard this, but it was my favorite part of the entire panel. She gets up, she's sitting at the front, obviously, but she gets up and she walks to the thing. She's like, Tiffany, I had no idea. And apparently, a lot of people didn't know that. That Tiffany is a. I don't want to like make it sound like Tiffany's but
Yeah.
that she's a fan of of consuming this media, at the very least. Like she knows of some of this. She's the one who's giving us the titles and shit like that, and the specific titles to show. So like some of her friends were like shocked. And yeah, that's great. It was a fun con though.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do it at Fan-A-Made next. Tiffany, honestly, I think maybe because like Claire and some of the people like found out already. Because initially she didn't want to do the panel at Fan-A-Made because she was afraid that like
more people. I think she knows more people in
yeah,
Northern California. That's why she said if it's late night, then she would do it probably.
Yeah, because like nobody will probably go to it, and if they do, they're like, they're probably drunk too.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun fact: because of the issues with my not being able to drink because I was dying, this is the first time I think ever that I did all the 18+ panels sober, 100% sober. So there was no like slurred speech and like shaky Manuel and like saying weird shit and like we there was one time we did the Edoguro panel, and it's always been quoted. Like Rachel's always quoted me on this, and there was like all this art. And there was this one guy who was like crown of thorns looking thing, Jesus, but he's naked. There was like thorns around his dick because this Edoguro art, and I'm like, I fuck that boy, and of course it's a clearly a man, but I called him a boy, and that became this whole quotable thing, like because Emmanuel shouted out, I'd fuck that boy in the middle of the Edoguro panel because I was wasted. So there was none of that. It was like no nonsense, sober Manuel. Can you believe that, JD? Like, ALA was the sober con for me, accidentally, but basically. And like, when we were leaving, I was I won't mention who, just in case they want to be secretive. But like, I'm part of this thing called Oshi Live that we promo, by the way, and you know, we're like virtually bring like VTubers to conventions and events. And that was the first event that we did, even though I wasn't that technically involved on the floor. I was the person who helped arrange it, thank God, because that was a whole feat and a half. But the people who were helping us out with Oshi Live, the other parts of Oshi Live, showed up after the panel, and they're like, "Hey, we want to go back to your room and drink." And I'm like, "That's great, but I'm not gonna drink." And everyone was so shocked by that. Like they were all like, "Manuel, this is a real growing moment." Like that you're choosing to like refrain because like it killed you twice.
This was on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a big party. Everyone got drunk. Yuji died again. Not she wasn't only dead the first time, but she died. She dies every con. She died that con.
Actually.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Much of. Yeah, there was a lot of people there. Yeah, and then I left.
No, it got to the point. No, there was like 30 some odd people in that room, and it got to the point that like when Danny and his girlfriend showed up, they came in. There was no space for them, so they had to leave. I felt bad.
I don't even remember them showing up.
Exactly. I saw them for like a second. They like waved at me. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to go because there was no room." Like, I mean, there was no room for half the people who were there, but like there was like the way it hit like they were literally had to stand in the open because there was no space to lean. There was no space to sit.
Like, they had people standing near the entrance and stuff like that.
So yeah, it was that kind of situation. There was people. Yeah, there was people like basically creating a fire hazard blocking the hallway. I'm sure the Renaissance would love to hear this story, but we cleaned up afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're lying, Boomer. It was close to 1820-ish. What are we talking about? Oh, the people in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, 1820-ish, 2030. It was still a lot. Okay, it was way beyond capacity for that room.
I don't remember if more people ended up showing up because I left like at midnight, I think, or somewhere around there. Midnight or 1.
Yeah, because like I took a selfie of the room, and there's like 15 people in that selfie, but there's a whole group of people who were in front of me, like Molly and Josh, and I think what's his name, Warren, and a whole group
the other guy who came in, Disco Elysium guy, whatever.
Yeah, forgot his name. Yeah, Disco Elysium cosplayer dude. He's the guy. He's the guy I killed at Fan-A-Made. He's the leader of that band, Driving Without Seatbelts or whatever they're called, like a ska anime band. But and like Sarah and everyone else were against the wall, so like they're not even half the room's not even in that big ass selfie I took, which is insane. And I had been developing this backpacking thing. Well, there's actually a couple other ways to do it, but I do one because it's easy to do, like just in public. Other ones involve you laying down and shit like that. But like, I did it at PMX and I did it at ALA to like to some people, and it became this thing that I was like doing to everyone. Like Emmy and her friends actually showed up again just to get their backs cracked. Remember that?
Yeah.
They came back just to get their backs cracked. So yeah, apparently I cracked backs at conventions. I should have everyone sign a waiver in case I kill someone eventually. JD, you've been awfully silent. And what do you have to say about all my shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, same
Yeah.
things.
So
Just
anything
more
else you want to talk about than
shenanigans,
ALA?
What if for ALA? Fun fact, not fun fact. Well, this is a fun fact. I had a lot of fun doing the 80s panel again, the 80s J-pop one. I really want to do that one again, but I'm thinking about retiring it so I can do the 90s one for a bit. Not retiring it, but retiring it for like the rest of the year. So hopefully you saw it. Honestly, that was the only panel I filmed because I had the feeling I was going to do that. So I filmed it so that I could potentially put that up on the site, and that'll probably be up on the site. Because everyone keeps asking about the panels, because like they're like, oh, where can I look at the panel again? Because there's a lot of info on the slides that we have you noticed that we do that? We even did the JV one. There's a lot of stuff on the slides that's there, but we never read.
Yeah.
And especially for like some of the like especially like the big ass music panels we do, like there's always a lot of info on there, like technical stuff, like other songs, the albums, release dates, and it's all on there. But I'm like, yeah, you can look at that if you want.
It's
And
funny, you can look at it, yeah.
people ask about this, and this is a real thing. I used to put all the panels on the website. There's a it's kind of messy to go. I should create its own page to past panels, because they used to say events, and like I would just put it there with everything else. But now we actually cover enough events that like the panels are buried. So I think I'll create a new page just for panels, and I'll start putting them there. But yeah, go to the website. So I plan to put, obviously, the JV one. I might either make it censored, or there is a way through HTML that Tipu wrote. He wrote us code for this. He actually wrote custom code for the site where we're able to make it clickable. But I have to do that for each picture. I don't know if I want to do that, so I might just censor it. But yeah, I'm gonna put all the panels up there, including the 80s one. Yeah, and some of them have video. Obviously, I have to upload it to the site so that like, and use the crappy video player that comes with like whatever editor we use. But yeah, good time. What other cons are happening? Like, are you ready? Oh, you're not going to Fanime.
I won't be at Fanime, no.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, Snakz won't be. He's going to Spain.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Europe during Fanime.
Oh, rip. What Weston's a good point. He said the J Metal one's very detailed and needs to be filmed if you have it. Fun fact, we've never filmed that one. Like, never even attempted, even at the before times. And I don't know if we're gonna be doing it again anytime soon because of Warren's fucking new schedule.
That's right.
Yeah, the next con that we were hoping to do it at is Fanime, which is what we're talking about right now. But that's in NorCal. He doesn't live up there anymore. So even like if he has
doesn't?
No, he lives down here with us now. So if he has to, if he, it's not the kind of thing like back in the days that just come after work. No, he just can't go.
Yeah, I mean, he could request it off, right? He's got how many months we've got?
Apparently he works at a job that like I was making the joke before we started. Apparently he works at like a place worse than like the worst fucking McDonald's on the earth. Because apparently he can't request days off. He has no sick days. I'm like, that's not legal,
How
Warren.
is that possible?
California gives you so many sick days, period. But yeah, he says he doesn't. And I'm like, they are doing you dirty.
Damn.
Yeah, so, it is really weird with sick days and stuff because I don't have them specifically.
We should just go work at Amazon or something.
Well, you're in Georgia, but like California does have. I think California requires you to have 5. If I'm not, I don't remember anymore. It's been a while. I had to know this at one point when I was at Party City. I don't remember anymore. But like they require so. I mean, it's like 5. You have to earn them by working so many hours. But yeah, you have so many sick days a year by law here.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he is doing a federal job, so maybe they're for all I know,
he's gonna get like fucking like bank holidays and shit, right?
Yeah,
or if he has to work through them, then he gets bonus pay and stuff.
Yeah, and Fanime falls on Memorial Day, so come Monday.
Yeah.
It's like come that Monday and come Sunday on Monday. There I
Monday,
solved the
Sunday,
problem,
Sunday.
Warren. I solved Warren.
That would kind of suck.
Well, Sunday, because at Fanime, it's always a Friday through Monday con, and technically we've done a lot of our panels on Sundays. So yeah, he could technically we could totally. I should talk to him about this. I literally just solved our problem right now. But yeah, you're gonna be in fucking Spain, you
Yes.
bastard.
Yes, I will not be, and I don't even think I would have gone even if I wasn't. Only because
Oh shit.
I don't know. I'm trying to avoid Fanime again. More years. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because like we talked about this before. That was the con that you staffed for a while, and I obviously met you before, but that was one of the first cons we hung out with because I remember that was the con when we did the panel at Fanime. The very first time I like met Molly. You were passing out flyers on the like during the panel or something.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have those. Sorry, COVID. But yeah. But yeah, you're not gonna be there. It's a great con. You should go to JD. I'm trying to convince everyone to go.
I mean, I'd go if I could get the time off, but I've got AX, I've got Tora-Con. I'm gonna try and make Anime Boston, and who knows what else for the rest of the year.
I'm trying to get you pressed for that. What are you gonna try to go?
Well, it'd be dependent on whether I go like all 3 days or just the last 2.
Oh, but yeah, Fanime is a fun con. It's really big, for what it is, and it's pretty much the only big con in NorCal too. Like generally speaking, because even SAC Anime is not really, even though it's in the name, it's not really an anime con. They get like, it's like Comic-Con Sacramento basically. They always get Charles Martinet. I'm like, does he live up there? But that's SAC Anime, not Fanime. SAC Anime always gets Charles Martinet. Yes, Mario. It's a me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. Oh, you mean
It's
Chris
me,
Pratt?
Mario. Yeah, not Chris Pratt. Fuck Chris Pratt. But
Mario.
oh, and that was also a running gag. Like, not running gag. We keep watching Mario shit in the hotel room. Were you there when we were watching the Mario Brothers Super Show?
No.
The one with Lou Albano, the cartoon one. We watched.
I only know evil Super Mario RPG Mario from the poop game.
Oh yeah. No. There's this one. There's this one episode of the Mario cartoon where they go to like Japan and like Koopa becomes like a Godzilla thing. And mind you, this is like a 1988 cartoon or whatever year it came out, and like it's just as insensitive and like low key racist as you'd imagine. It was so bad. I was like, oh my god. And we were watching the con. It came on during the con, and I was like, this is no. No. It was just terrible. Also, we were watching The Simpsons on night 0. Sorry, go back to ALA. But like, I always caption the big ass group pictures like stupid shit, and I captioned this group picture, 3 simple words: "I am gay." And JD, do you know what episode that's from?
No.
Okay, so there was an episode of The Simpsons, and it's such an obscure reference. I'm not surprised no one, I forgot it. When like Bart's catfishing his teacher, Mr. Bopple, by pretending to be like somebody from some dating thing, is writing her letters, and it's Woodrow Wilson. Like he cuts out the picture, like from a history book or whatever, and he decides like obviously he has to break up with her. So that's how, and they're like he tells his family, and they're all sitting around trying to figure it out. And like Lisa and Marge are like, you gotta let her down gently, you gotta blah blah blah. And Homer's all like, 3 simple words: I am gay.
Yeah.
And that became the caption of one of the pictures. And people legitimately thought I was saying I was gay. Which is fine, you know. Like I'm not saying like, you know, I'm gay for Warren, but yeah, I am not gay though. Just FYI, in case anyone's hearing about that for the first time. But yeah, but that was a funny little caption. Another funny story. There was one time I captioned a photo. 3, 2, 1. We came to fuck, because that's the opening line of a My Chemical Romance song. And it was playing when I took the selfie, and I captioned it that. And one of I won't say who, but one of our friends got in trouble with his girlfriend who was not there. I tagged him in the picture, and he's all like, "Manuel, why'd you have to put the caption 3-2-1 we came to fuck?" Because his girlfriend messaged, he's like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't know this, but apparently she wanted to come, but because I won't say who, but this friend of ours staffs the con, and she wanted to come, but he's like, no, it's no point because like I won't be able to see you. So she was messaging him like, is that why you didn't want me to go? Is that what?
And then he'll tell you.
Yeah, but basically, I'm breaking up relationships. Yeah, I got.
Yeah. Didn't even say like, oh, it's the song lyrics.
Yeah, like I guess for future reference, I should probably like do a little quotation and put where I got it from, and not just because I guess who knows these things anyway.
Fuck.
He's become boomer destroyer relation. Yes, not with that attitude.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, but yeah. 3 simple words, I am gay. That'll be the caption on YouTube, and it'll be clickbait. Like, Manuel says he's gay. Anyway, but yeah, Fanime. Hopefully we'll be doing panels there. Fun fact: I've been trolling their site, and I don't know if I should say this publicly, but I'm going to do. Who the fuck's going to watch this in time for this to happen? Their panel submission form is live, and part of me wants to submit it because they haven't shared it, so it's not live. I shouldn't say that, but it's on the website, and I'm pretty sure I only know that because when I was sick, I couldn't really do a lot of stuff. But one thing I could do was like stop and start working on panels. So like, Fanime is the only con in existence that has character limits. So like, every con we've ever done has to have a very special description and a very special title because they won't fit otherwise. So I was doing that, and I wanted to make sure what the character limits were. And I went to the site, and the 2023 form is right there, sitting right there at Fanime site. And I'm like, do I want to get in trouble? Do I not want to get in trouble? But yeah. But yeah, Fanime registration opened, AX registration opened. Everyone should go to all these summer cons. Let's fucking go. Hopefully PMX happens again. Word on the street is that it will, but I mainly hope that they get onto it faster. You know, because if you remember PMX last year, they didn't start ramping things up until like 2 months before, and it was like such a quick rush to the con. But yeah, hopefully they invite us back and we do panels there. And Tora-Con, when is Tora-Con anyway?
That is March.
It's in March. It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Are you going to that?
Yes, I'm going to that. I'm hoping to
you are.
host 2 panels as well.
Oh, what the fuck? You do panels?
These are my first panels there. I've been trying to recruit people for like backup UPZs when you can't make it, using those panels to test.
Well, I do know you have one of them. Like, you have that game you always talk about, the
anime, and then Tora-Con Connect.
Okay. I hope they're the same. Oh yeah, apparently, once again, well, this isn't that crazy because if you went to like the closing ceremonies, they did mention this. Apparently, PMX will be using that same hotel
for what?
For this year, the Sheraton, which I liked.
That place, yeah.
It was a very Chinese hotel.
So Manuel loved it, of course.
Yeah, like literally, I'm not making this up. Everything in the hotel was written in Chinese and in English, and like, when I got really drunk a couple of the nights, I was reading some of it to Morgan, and Morgan wasn't staying with us. She would just come and visit, and I was explaining to her like how rude some of the things were in Chinese. Like, clearly someone wrote this. Like, it wasn't like copy pasta. and there were some directions in the hotel that were written kind of rudely, I felt, in Chinese. But it was a nice hotel, and the area it's in San Gabriel, and it's a very like, how do I say this? It's a very ungentrified Asian area, so it's fun to like eat there and go to the markets and shit like that. You know, it's like what Little Tokyo and like Koreatown were years ago. And watching it gentrified now. The hotel, and the hotel looks way too nice for that area because it's like down a residential street.
Yeah, it is. It's next to a bunch of houses. Yeah.
And the hotel like has like, it just looks a little too nice in the front, like in the actual entrance. I'm like there's literally like a very like lower middle class house across the street from it. It looks so weird.
I mean, that's par for the course, right? That hotel wasn't that expensive.
It wasn't.
Well,
The hotel
actually,
itself is. We have some stupid stories about that con I didn't mention, but Snakz had a fun time, didn't you, Snakz? At the hotel, I mean, like, remember? I won't say what, but we had shenanigans at that con too, and they were not me though this time.
Right.
I do remember the dun no bum 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 for like everything. The fucking Terminator. Oh, that movie is ruined to me. There's a lot of movies where like things that go on during the movies, and I can't watch the original Terminator now without remembering that night. Like sitting there trying to watch that movie, pretending
right, it was the first one. That's right.
pretending nothing's happening, like but shit was going down around us.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
I remember the Taco Bell I had. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
All I remember with the Taco Bell is like, I guess you got one of those meals, so you got me like a couple tacos and like a burrito, and all I remember was like you gave me one, and I'm like, oh, Snakz only got me one, that's fine, thanks. And I was eating it, and then when I was done eating it, you handed me another.
Yeah.
Then you handed me another, and you did it like 3 or 4 times. And it just felt like that. It felt like that bag was like never ending.
Yeah. I kept forgetting.
It was just funny because like you gave them to me one at a time, and like I was so drunk, I think, and so like I was just like,
so it's like you were thinking about it. You're like, oh, damn, it'd be nice to have another one. And I hear you
yeah, there goes another
taco.
taco.
You another one.
That was great. Oh man, yeah. What else is going on?
Let's talk about taco.
Where are you going in Spain?
I'm going to be in Barcelona and Madrid.
I went to a long time ago when like I wanted to go tour the Holy Land. I mentioned the Levant. Whenever I call it the Holy Land, everyone assumes I was on some Christian like missionary voyage. I wanted to see the Levant because like I've always had this obsession with like the medieval period, the Crusades and whatnot. And I remember I spent most of it there, but I did go to Spain for a hot minute. Because I wanted to see some shit in Spain, but like I was literally there for a day, and I was in Barcelona, and there wasn't much for me to see relevant. But yeah, that's my experience in Spain. I don't know Spanish, so yeah.
Yeah, but Manuel, last time you were there, it was still what, Hispania.
Would you say?
No, Hispania. It was still the Roman times. They're calling it Hispania.
Oh,
because you're so old.
Hispania.
Oh, because I'm so fucking. But yeah, I did see a lot of Levant though. I did go to a lot of ruins and whatever. Of like, oh, dude, this is way off topic. But I remember like, mind you, this is a long time ago, and I was a bit more uncultured back then. Now I'm like, of course this is normal. But there's this very famous city called Antioch. And fun fact, like not to get too like on my history high horse, that's the city where the word Christian was like first like created. And it was one of the biggest battles in the First Crusade. There's this big city that's backed against a mountain that's like walled, and the city doesn't exist anymore. And like, it's not because they lost this battle and got destroyed. Apparently, people just get tired of living places and just move.
Just move, yeah.
And it blows my mind because the city has been abandoned for like hundreds and hundreds of years. And at one point, I guess people just like the population just got so small. The last people were like, yeah, we should probably go too. And then they left.
Doesn't stop people from leaving Chernobyl.
Yeah. So it just blows my mind. It blew my mind. It was the first time I'd ever seen a city going to see the ruins of Antioch. And I was like, oh, how the fuck can this city be gone? It's just because most other cities, it's like, oh yeah, you hear about these big battles, these big historically important cities. It's like, oh, modern day this, modern day that. But no, this one's gone. And there's nothing around it. Yeah, there's nothing around it. It's not like there's another metropolis nearby. Mind you, it is like kind of in the middle of nothing, but still. People felt like building there before. Anyway, that's my. We'll do an episode where Manuel talks about the Levant and the Crusades. Rip City, yeah, Rip City. What are they? Oh yeah, so there's a lot of concerts happening. I remember like, It's funny because we talked about the last rock stars, which I don't know if anyone's going to that. Are you going to that, Terrence? I see you in the chat there. But wait, what is that? That happened when you combine Ak and Antioch? What is that?
It's because when you combine matter and antimatter, they get destroyed.
Oh.
So the joke is that it's Arc, and then Antioch is the antimatter of Arc.
Oh,
That's
actually pretty
But now that I have to explain the joke is no longer funny.
yes.
The joke's funny because you explained it.
Yeah, you missed Terrence. We were talking about covering concerts and
Like
how hard
Celebrity
it is.
Jeopardy.
Dude, I love Celebrity Jeopardy. I remember like I had Hulu. Well, I didn't get Hulu this year, but I used to always get Hulu on Black Friday and just like make a new email on A to J because you could just keep making new email boxes. And I make a new email, then I sign up for like the year for like $1 a month or whatever. And I do that every year, and I forgot to do it this past year. But like I do love watching Celebrity Jeopardy, and every so often when I watch it, people like I quote it all the time. People are like, "Why do you watch Celebrity Jeopardy?" Because they're so stupid sometimes.
Okay, the actual Celebrity Jeopardy and not the SNL sketch.
Not the SNL skit Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh wait, talking about the one where like, what's the Black Panther
Ted
guy's
Ferguson.
name?
The what?
What's the Black Panther guy's name?
T'Challa? No, what's his name?
Chadwick Boseman.
The only one I ever saw was the one where he was on there, and it was like Tom Hanks is like the redneck.
Yeah.
And I just remember that one because like, well, I don't know if it was the same episode. I think he was on there.
Two different episodes.
But there was one episode where he talks about like, it's like about bringing the potato salad. It's like, I need to know, is she white? It's like it's gonna have no flavor, it's gonna have no seasonings, maybe salt. Yeah. And then it keeps going on about like it's gonna add raisins.
It's gonna add raisins.
Those are great. Also, I remember that the Tom Hanks one was like I forgot what he was talking about, like skinny women, so they can get the hell out of here. Whatever.
That's right.
And then, of course, the last category for that one with Tom Hanks was like the redneck guy was like lives that matter. And it's all like it's like it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. They just all look at him. They go, "Oh,
there it goes." Oh man.
That. No, sorry. Huh? When he said Celebrity Jeopardy, I thought of that because I think of what's his name doing the Sean Connery impression. And he just always reads the titles incorrectly. So instead of who reads, he reads it whore ads or let it snow.
Yeah, that's right.
Tits now. No, I've been to France.
Yeah, let tits now.
Let tits. Is that what? Let tits now.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be let it snow. He says, "Yeah, I'll take let tits now."
Let tits now.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who watches real Celebrity Jeopardy? Like I also like watching Celebrity Family Feud. There was one.
Well,
I like watching these and the reason I mentioned Hulu.
Yeah, Family Feud's kind of funny sometimes.
Hulu. Well, Steve Harvey Family Feud is great, but Hulu separates the celebrity ones and like the teen. I don't like the teen ones, but they separate. They separate these into categories. But I remember I watched the Celebrity Family Feud, and it was it was. The fuck's her name? Jojo Siwa, and I can't remember who the fuck Derulio, whatever her name is, some other
Joe DiMaggio.
She's a TikToker person. Anyways, all I remember about that episode is fucking Jojo Siwa and her family like dominated the game, and they never met the other family because they never got the board.
Damn.
So like, yeah, I don't know if you guys know how Family Feud works. Like, yeah, when you get the question, Steve Harvey goes and he asks each person, like, so what do you do? What do you do? You know, like to each person. But we never met the other family because Jojo Siwa's family dominated the game. They won all three. They took all three questions. They kept them all. And then, of course, they went to the end and everything like that. But yeah, it was a pretty funny episode. I think it was also a COVID episode. So like, it was that weird point of Family Feud where like everything was really spaced apart. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I like Celebrity. Tonight's podcast sponsored by Hulu. Yes, please sponsor us, Hulu.
Yeah, Manuel. It was apparently Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio.
D'Amelio, there you go. I can't remember the names.
Joe DiMaggio.
No, I just know because that one of the girls is very famous on TikTok, or at least she was at the time. And I don't know if she's famous for anything else. But yeah.
Would you go on Family Feud?
Hell, fucking yeah.
Family Feud sounds like fun.
Family Feud is a weird. Did you ever come to the Idol panel that we did? You had to.
You guys did Jeopardy, right?
We did Family Feud.
We
did Family Feud one year because I remember like it wasn't until we got there. I remember that was a year that was the fun panel because there were 2 years. There were two. We had TLDR. We had this panel called the Idol Variety Hour, whatever the fuck it was called, and it was literally like just games we did, and like they were technically Idol related. And there were only 2 years where all the elements worked because like it required guests, it required all this bullshit to work. And I remember Kaylee and Molly performed there like during the halftime. Kaylee was actually sat on the entire panel because like I guess it felt weird going back, even though technically she had nothing to do but perform with Molly for one song. But she sat up there anyway. But that's also the one where we tried to replicate the AKB48 games where like and we never got that game to work, but everyone loved it because we had like 2 girls blowing into a tube into each other's mouths. So people just thought it was funny that we were doing that, but like that game never worked. But when we did the fucking Family Feud, I remember like when it came time to actually play, I'm like, how do we judge this? Because it just dawned on me like you know that bullshit when like it's like, oh, what's something you wear? What's something you wear? And like, and then the question is, and then the answer, some guy's like, a purple cardigan, but they give the judges are like, yeah, t-shirt, and they'll give you the fucking answer.
Yeah,
we had moments like that during the panel, and I remember like I had to ask Angie, I'm like, Angie, do we allow this or not? Because there was a couple questions where it was all like, do we give it to them? And we had moments like that where we did it and it's like, nah, like the people who got the answer were like, yeah, and everyone else like, what the fuck, that doesn't count.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was fun. We did that. We did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. I don't know if you were there for that. That one kind of sucked because like if you've never seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, that's just one person.
It is.
So we brought one random person on stage and then just like sat with them for like 20 minutes.
Damn, that's
But those are, and then we also had we had a talk segment because it was a variety show that we were making up on the fly. So I remember that was the one year that Cheeseburger Chan, who I've never seen again, I just remember that's her fucking Instagram handle. She came on stage and was talking about the time she was in Japan and like was scouted for one of those TV shows, like, you know, where they get like white people who come to Japan. You know what I'm talking about?
One who was she was talking about she went to that Bish show that was women only. She was talking about Koto, right? The white girl. Yeah, okay, I remember her. Yeah.
Fun fact about her: wherever you're at, Cheeseburger Chan, drop us a line. There was like years of our time when we thought she was going to join ADJ Connections, and she just never did.
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah, she was there for a while, and it got to the point where like Molly knew her. Like I forgot because like I think that we were going to do a different segment with like some other people, and then they left because they had to like leave early, and then it was Molly who's all like, oh. Well, I forget her real name, but Molly knew her real name. Molly's like, "Oh, get so and so," and we brought her on stage, and she was actually fairly lively. So that was a fun little moment. And like Angie knew her, and so yeah, it
seems like everybody knew her, right?
Yeah, there was
I'm trying to look her up right now.
Yeah, there was this point when we all knew her, and then like she was going to become one of the new A to J people, and then just never happened. Rip. Cheeseburger Chan, come back. That's such a weird thing to Google. I'm almost like want to look it up too. Cheeseburger Chan. Hold on. We're gonna dox her live on UPZ. Hold on. Okay, when you type in Cheeseburger Chan, you get real cheeseburgers.
Yeah. I don't see anybody with that name.
Hey, why is Burger Chan like addiction? Hold on. A hybrid word combining the English word burger, short for hamburger, and the Japanese diminutive suffix expressing cuteness. What side am I? Oh, it's a restaurant. I'm on. There's a restaurant called Burger Chan. Anyway, go look that up. Somebody.
We're never gonna find this person.
We're never gonna find this girl. Like, she's gonna try on Instagram. Hold on, one last time.
Goodbye, girl.
Wait, who's Burger Chan? This isn't her, right? I know she was called Cheeseburger. No, this is the restaurant again. Yeah, we're never gonna find her again.
Oh well.
I'll ask Molly and Angie because I don't remember her real name, and I wouldn't have doxed her anyway if I remembered it. Anyway, those are some good moments. It's funny because by the way, if you want to join A2G Connections, then let us know. We've been talking about it lately, about like how we've been dropping the ball because we used to recruit people at conventions, like Cheeseburger Tron's a really good example. It never happened, but like that's how it was starting. And how we haven't done that as much anymore. So we made a conscious decision for ALA to have like recruitment slides. We didn't do it for JAV, fun fact, but we did do it at all the other ones. And after the horror panel, I did with Rose. People came up to us and then nothing happened, but that's kind of normal, but still. Yeah. Recruitments, of course, we're always looking for new people at AJ. It's like the new blood is what keeps things going because the new people like have new ideas and
fresh ideas and stuff.
Yeah, and then like it revives people who've been like just lounging around forever. So I do think we're high time for a new person at the very least to like. And it's funny, ask JD. It's funny because usually if you come in at the right time, you basically take over A2G Connections for like a year.
Yeah,
that's not even a lie. Like a new person with a strong personality just comes in and suddenly they're running things, and I'm like, and suddenly it's like, oh, they're bossing around Manuel and shit like that. So yeah, it happens. Like I told JD before, like there was definitely I mean, we're probably still in it, but there was definitely a JD period where like JD was like holding A to J together with like the skin of his teeth.
That's why I call myself a cat herder. When anyone asks me what I do here.
Oh man. But yeah, the other conventions. I just wanted to. We didn't even talk about the AX Hunger Games. AX had its whole thing. Apparently, it costs $160 to go there. That's bullshit.
It went up $20.
Okay, I know that this is gonna be a joke. Like, oh, you're a boomer. You don't understand. I was already an adult when this happened. This wasn't that long ago. I remember when it used to like when the first prices would always be like in the $40-ish range, 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And that wasn't that long ago. We're talking like 2000. Well, obviously before this, but like 2012, I think it was still like pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'd say 2012 is correct because I was looking at memories on Facebook and someone was like, it's $40
insane.
for a day, but it's $55 for 2 days, so might as well go 2 days. And then they got rid of the 2-day thing. Yeah.
They got rid of a lot of, and like they got rid of premiere passes this year, and like I used to before A to J, I used to like always get the premiere badges. I'll never forget that the jump from 2014 to 2015, it was like $100 something. 2014
it shot up to like 300. Yeah.
Yes, it like tripled in 1 year.
The first premiere badge was like $80. I remember.
Yeah. And like the very first premiere badge, and this was like this for years, and you were still able to get them up to the con. Mind you, the con was the con itself. I'm sure you could even see it on like Wikipedia or something, because like it was like 40,000 attendees, 40,000, 40,000, 40,000. Then 1 year it jumped to 60. And I think, and the weird thing was that was the year after it had dropped for the first time ever. It was like it had dropped to like low 40,000, then it jumped to like 60,000, then it was 80,000, then it was 100,000. So I'm not sure what happened in that 1 year that like their marketing team woke up, or like millennials decided they wanted to go to AX suddenly, but they ruined it for everyone. They ruined it for the rest of us.
Yeah, they used to have the pre-show stuff. I don't know if they have that anymore.
Oh, when they were trying to make it a 5-day con. Where like these zero had shit.
Dude, I remember that they had announced I want to say like 2014. I think they were like at closing ceremonies. It was like the contract was going to run out or something, or they're going to be like AX is going to add a 5th day, and this is going to be so crazy. You know what? Hold on, I need to look that up because I remember like
$20. That's a whole ass indie game.
Yeah, I remember like talking about something like that.
Yeah, Terrence, say $20 is a rose $20 this year. That's a whole ass indie game. You could buy Stardew Valley with that money. So yeah, it rose by Stardew Valley. That's the way AX rose this year. I think Stardew Valley is only $15, but yeah. Anyway, no, it's insane. Like I don't understand how I'm only gonna go if we get pressed. If we don't get pressed, I'll still go to party. But like, I don't understand how the normies go unless you're going to just a shop. I don't know. JD seemed to have fun, so maybe there's a way to still do it.
I mean, like, I just went to the occasional panel signing and then movie premiere where I wrote content for A to J.
Yeah. Well, you got to see the movie. It's funny because I'm reviewing this Chinese movie. Well, it's done by G Kids, but like this is Chinese movie, and they try to get me to go to a theater, and I'm like, I don't like theaters. I'm like, can you just send me a screener? This is like an ongoing thing, so I won't mention the movie, but there's a new. It's animated. It's a new animated movie, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. But Manuel, we should start wrapping up.
Oh, if I can't get this panel, I'll probably. Oh yeah. Wait, I'm sending a panel. Yeah, 2012 was probably the year. Like, it's funny because 2012 was I thought it was a fun year. That was the year Animetal USA went, but that was a very down year. I remember, like they didn't. It felt like the guests were lacking.
Something about, dude. Something about. I'll always say this. 2011 and 2014, and then I think 2017 were like some of the best years AX has seen like so far. Those are some. Oh my god! I don't know. Everything was on top those years.
We sound like boomers, and it's funny because like this wasn't that long ago. I mean, 10 years ago is a while, but that's like we're not talking the 90s. And I mentioned this in the past, but there were definitely anime fans back then who were like, "Oh, you stupid kid! You don't remember what it was like in our day? That was the better cons." That were like the literal boomers who had been going in the 90s before our time. But yeah, we should wrap it up soon. What else is there to talk about?
I mean,
AX anime.
right? AX is happening.
Well, we were mainly just coming back to come back, and I wanted to mention that like I almost died, and we went to a bunch of conventions. Snakz isn't doing conventions this year apparently, so yeah, he did ALA, and he's gonna skip all the way until PMX. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm still gonna look for when the hell I mentioned the fifth day, but I'm finding stuff from like 2013, 2012, but like nothing. Yeah, I don't. Maybe AX for like a day. That's probably it. But yeah, I mean that Europe trip is basically all I really had planned big this year. I had maybe something in November, but I doubt it.
I kept saying it every year, so hopefully, if anyone wants to go with me, let me know. I want to go to
Okay,
I want to go to the
from AX
I want to go to
2017.
Oh, what was it?
4-day badges were $55 for the Black Friday sale.
No, that sounds about right. Because like I said, like everything kind of stayed static until like 2018 and 19. It jumped up. Then obviously since the pandemic, it's gotten stupid. But people will pay it. That's the big problem. And I'm part of the problem too, I guess. But so are you, JD. You're the problem. But like I was saying, I want to go to Holiday Matsuri. That's my goal. It's in December. So hopefully I'll go to that. It's in Florida.
Honestly, that sounds like a good time, but I feel like it's kind of close to ALA.
It's too close. Yes, so close to ALA. I
just would like to go. I've always wanted to go to that convention. Yeah.
The only reason I want to go, for those who don't know this, I am a huge sucker for Christmas. I fucking love Christmas. I love Christmas to death, and it's a Christmas themed con. And I could do all the panels in like Christmas versions. Christmas JV. Does that exist? I'm sure it does. Go find all the videos of like when the girls fuck Santa or something.
Just like, damn, dude. I mean, maybe I have to see when that is, because
but
that's a tight. Yeah.
We planned last year. Yeah, Hallmat. This year I'm going to go for sure because like no matter what happens by the middle of this year, a lot of the bullshit that kept last year from being too fun for me will be gone for one way or the other. Either I'm fucked over or I'm good. So
dude, it's like some nice ass resort.
Yeah, it is. What the fuck was I gonna say? So as far as scheduling for other streams go, I don't
think it ain't that bad. It's the last year was 16th through the 18th, so it's not too bad.
Do they have this year's dates? But still, that's
they're not,
that's 3 weeks before ALA, because ALA happens like the 4th next year, I think, of January. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they already announced the dates. I forgot what they are. And it's in Long Beach again. Anime Los Angeles. JD's like, you keep saying you end the show, they keep moving off.
Well, no. I was laughing because it's like every time you try to say something, Snakz just starts mumbling something to interrupt you.
Oh yeah. Oops.
Well,
This
I will say,
important.
well, the site won't load for me for some reason, but I will say that as far as streams go, it's a little shaky. Not even so much because of Warren shit. Like, obviously, I'm not sure when we're gonna do the gaming. No matter what, things are shaky right now because Warren's like has a new job, but it's like a probationary training period. But hopefully that at least settles. We can play some more games. There was going to be a special episode of Drink Talk Roll. I couldn't do last week's, but there was going to be another one this week I was going to be on. But like now, Howe is saying he has commitments that he can't do every week, so we have to like lock down the every other week. So only because we did it last week, that's going to be the permanent every other week. We already locked down weeks for like the upcoming. So the next DTR will be next Friday the 3rd. So, and UBZ should be back on Tuesday. Hopefully a more structured episode. Maybe Hino will be on because Hino, I've been talking to her about being on since last year. Yeah, and that'll be that. Snakz, thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. Cheeseburger Chan, if you're out there, join us. Anyone else?
That's literally 2 weeks away. Holy smokes. Eesh.
Last Rockstar is everyone. Also, Visions of Atlantis, a band I really want to see, is playing the fucking 1720 like in a week, and I'm like, I hate that venue. Fuck you. I was gonna talk about that. Powerwolf is coming to the U.S. for the first time ever. They're playing in March. Everyone go to that, and yeah. Visions of Atlantis. They're a power metal group with two singers, a guy and a girl, and then Powerwolf is a power metal group that's kind of like a more gothy version of Ghost, but like power metal Ghost.
All right.
Anyways, thank you for watching. Peace out. Thank you, JD. Thank you, everyone. Love you. See you next week, Tuesday.
Goodbye.
Tuesday though.
Give me the yayo.